That's why I think Malik Monk will be a top 4 scorer for the Lakers, man.
Jacob, you said this like 3 times, bro.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to get the point across.
Anything else besides that, bro?
Well, you're just not listening to me.
I can't do this with somebody that doesn't know basketball.
What are you talking about? I'm trying to.
Bro, I can't do this.
Man.
I can't do this.
Well, fine, man. I don't even want to do this with you anyways.
Welcome to the very first episode of Out of Bounds. My name is Braxton. I'm here with my very good friend and co-host, Jacob. Today is October 4th, 2021. We got preseason basketball yesterday. The Lakers and the Nets went head-to-head, and the Nets ended up beating the Lakers 123-97. I would like to point out before we get started today, Jacob, that LA was actually only down by 3. It was 84-81 heading. And Frank Vogel put in his two-way contract players and his rookie players. So the game got out of hand pretty quickly. But other than that, I think the game was very close, very fun. What did you think about the game yesterday, Jacob?
I thought it was pretty good. It's basketball. I'm excited the season's starting again, except for, of course, the fourth quarter. But I think these are the two teams we're going to see at the end of this. At the end of the season, who's going to win the chip? We don't know yet. Maybe we'll talk about it later on. But let's talk about some key takeaways. Who do you think stood out, Braxton?
I think the obvious choice and the one that everybody's going to say is Cam Thomas. But I have to reiterate, he was great this game. I tweeted about Cam Thomas before the draft. I said he was one of my top 5 favorite value picks in the draft, and I'm sticking with it. He was an absolute bucket last night. He did take 14 shots. He shot 7 for 14 from the field, but he did have 21 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. I'm very excited to see him grow this season. He does have that Mamba mentality. He wore number 24 in the game last night, so he, paying homage to one of his favorite players, Kobe Bryant, and I'm very excited to see him learn under Kyrie Irving and James Harden, 2 of the best scoring players of all time. Jacob, I have to ask the same question to you. Who do you think was a key takeaway player from the game?
Yeah, before I get into that, I do want to talk about Cam a little bit more. He shot 7 for 14, like you said, 50%. I don't think that shooting that much and shooting 50% is a bad thing. If you're going to make it, then make it. But he did shoot 1 for 3 out of 3s. So, I wish he could go up a little bit more for that. And then he shot 6 for 7 free throws. So that's a great thing. But my guy is Malik Monk. I feel like he was undershadowed just because of Cam. He had 15 points, 2 boards, 1 assist. He's a known scorer. He also has a contract for $1.7 million, which I feel like is underappreciated for 1 year. He also shot 50%, 6 for 12. But the thing I like the most is the threes. He shot 50% from 6. He was making all the shots he should have. There's a lot of pick and rolls. And I just feel like he made everything that he should have, except for the one player that I might talk about later on. All right, well, I think it was AD. I know he's coming back from injury, so he probably wasn't going 110%. But I feel like he should at least try to go into the paint once or twice. Braun said him and AD should be playing the 4 and 5 now, which kind of concerns me because if you look at, I don't know who's going to play center if AD doesn't want to play. He also had, let's see, 1 rebound. I know he played for 11 minutes, but only 1 rebound. It felt like he wasn't trying his hardest in there. I know he doesn't want to bang with the big guys, but there's a lot of smaller guys who felt like he should have backed down, which he just did not do.
Yeah, watching the game, his play style was very weird to me, seeing him I think he took a lot of away jumpers that didn't quite make sense in a preseason game. I would have liked to see AD take over a little bit more, and I get that it's a preseason game and he's coming back from injury, but, he is a superstar, the only superstar playing in this game. Kind of proved to us after your injury you're still the same player. But I also have another disappointing player from this game I'd like to point out, and that's Taylor Horton-Tucker. This guy has been getting hyped up by everybody. Like, he's the same thing that happened to Kyle Kuzma before Kyle Kuzma got traded. Lakers fans are treating Taylor Horton-Tucker like he is some sort of basketball god. Last night, he played 25 minutes, so he played the most minutes on the team, and he shot 3 of 11 from the field. He's supposed to be a scorer. He didn't really score. He had 10 points. He didn't really contribute anywhere else besides having 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. And, like you said earlier, Jacob, how Malik Monk might be a really good scorer this season. I don't even know if Taylor Horton-Tucker could be a top 5 scorer on the Lakers this year. When you have LeBron, Westbrook, AD, then you have Melo and Malik Monk off the bench, they might be able to outscore Taylor Horton-Tucker. So I'm kind of worried about his contribution to the team this year.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from that. He did have a plus-minus of -2, which doesn't sound the best, but out of all the other players, he's 3rd best. And as well as it's also the first game, so he could probably just be, shoving some rust off or anything. And he also had that crazy dunk. And I do want to point out in the first quarter, when he did that dunk, the Lakers were down 9 points, but after that they came back. It was around 9 or 10. But in the end of the first quarter, they actually came back and I don't think they tied it, but they got close enough. So I felt like he was a key contributor to starting that comeback.
After watching this game, if you had to pick today, who do you think is more equipped to win the NBA championship this season, the Lakers or the Nets?
That's a good question. I do think these two are going to be the final teams I'm going to see. I have been talking about the Lakers a lot, but I do think the Nets are going to just come out with the chip. I mean, KD and all of them, they're just going to outpower the Lakers. I don't trust Westbrook yet. I got to see how he plays. I know him and LeBron have been playing and doing all the rookies, or I'm sorry, not the rookie, doing all the other stuff together for the offseason. But until I see it in the game, I just don't trust the chemistry, and I think the Nets are just going to wipe them off the floor.
All right, that's a good point. I think, I agree with you as far as I think the Nets are definitely going to win the NBA championship. I think if Kyrie, James Harden, and KD are all healthy, there's no better big three in the NBA than those three guys. I just want to point out, I think it all depends on how Anthony Davis does this season. He has two of the greatest passers of all time, LeBron James and Russell Westbrook, on his team now. So there really should be no excuse for Anthony Davis not to get easy lobs, easy open looks, and just be able to contribute more than he is. Everybody always says how Anthony Davis is a top 5 player in the NBA when he's healthy, and I've yet to see it, honestly, recently. So coming back from, if he's able to play like he's supposed to, I think Lakers can give the Nets a run for their money, but it really depends on Anthony Davis for sure.